Hi, Samantha. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Samantha Uncut, where I discuss celebrity news, hot topics, reality TV, and so much more. All commentary is alleged and, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. So, hey, everyone, we're back with episode 2 recap/review. We're just going to jump right into it. So, the episode starts off with, Nicole at her house or her mansion, I should say. Here she is talking to a young lady who seems to be either her assistant or an intern, where the young lady is asking Nicole if she has made a decision on the recipient for the scholarship that Nicole is handing out. She lets the intern know that she hasn't made a decision as yet, but she may need the intern or assistance help with making the decision for the recipient. Then in comes another lady who seems to be working with Nicole. It seems like she's the event coordinator, because she comes up to Nicole asking her about making a decision for the menu for a brunch that they're hosting. Nicole says to her that she needs to email it over. She'll take a look at it because she got so much going on with her right now, so she's not able to take a look at it right now. Then we get introduced to Nicole's husband, who is Ted Richardson. He is the father of Martin and Catherine. And here in this scene, he is just taken aback, like just in love with Nicole. He's in love with his wife and he's just giving her praises, and he's just like all over her. He asked Nicole how her morning is going, and she basically said, "How much time do you got?" Basically saying her morning is busy. Then they switch to the scene with Vernon and Martin, where they're discussing the scene that happened at the restaurant where Danny slapped the heck out of Haley. And Martin is saying that he didn't know that Danny had it in her to like slap somebody like that. And Vernon is just looking at him like, I don't want you taking no pleasure in that, because it was heartbreaking for me to see my daughter be pushed to that limit where she felt she needed to defend herself or to slap someone, and violence is not the answer. And Vernon is just basically giving Martin the whole, when they go low, you go high, that kind of speech. And Martin is just like, yeah, I know that, but it was still good to see that. So Vernon is basically saying he is upset at the way that Bill handled the whole situation with Danny, and he wished that, even if he didn't love her anymore, he would have walked away and still left her with some dignity. But to move into the community is just an insult. And so Martin is saying, Haley thinks that she has found this knight in shining armor, and she is going to realize soon enough that Bill is not who she thinks he is. Then you have Danny at her house now, while she's there putting on the videos of her wedding with Bill, and she's reminiscing about the good old times or the good old days. Her mom walks in and asks her what the heck she's doing. And she's like, she said she's reminiscing about the good old days and how Bill loved her. And her mom is just looking at her crazy. Like, girl, get a grip. Get a grip. He's gone. He gonna marry somebody else. Like, get over it. So her mom sits down and basically just turn off the TV and gave her a hug and let her know, I'm here. So she's trying to comfort her. And Danny is trying to cry. Mind you, there's no tears. There's no tears in her eyes. What are we doing, people? Then we go back over to Martin and Vernon, because Vernon wants to have a conversation with Martin about what he said about being, about wanting more. So Vernon was concerned about that. So he asked him if everything was good at home. Martin said to him, yeah, everything is good at home, but he might be a little bit restless because he wants to know what's next. Like he wants to know what his next challenge is. So Vernon is basically telling him, it's good to be restless. However, don't take for granted basically what you have at home, or don't try to do more than is necessary. And Vernon told him that whatever he wants to do next, and if it's within his career, he's going to be there for him. Martin thanks him because he's like he got all the way throughout his career with the help of his grandfather, so he's very appreciative of that. Then we go back to Danny, child. So Danny thinks that her mom is there to yell at her because of the slap that she gave Haley. Her mom let her know that no, she's not there to yell at her because she understands why the slap happened. However, Anita is telling Danny that you don't need to stoop to that level because you're better than that. And then Danny goes on to still cry about Haley taking her life away, like living her life. And she's still reminiscing about this marriage to Bill. And apparently the divorce took 6 months to process, and then the day that she got the divorce papers is the day that Danny and that Bill and Haley booked the country club for their wedding, child. So now Anita is trying to put the broken pieces back together when it comes to Danny, because Danny's still over there crying over the whole relationship. So Anita is trying to tell her, like, you need to let go. You need to let go of the anger, because if you don't, it's going to destroy you. Basically, Anita is like, girl, you're a Dupree. Why you acting like you ain't that B? Like, what's going on? Like, come on, snap out of it. Danny now listen to one thing where her mother say Danny still a cry over Bill. So back over at Nicole's house now, she's there telling Ted about what happened at the country club, about the slap with Danny and Haley, and he's there giddy talking about, oh, how come nothing happened when I'm at the country club? Like, sir, go away. So anyways, they're talking about that situation, and Nicole is just expressing how frustrated she is, and she feels like she wants to slap someone because she's hurting for her sister, because Danny gave up everything for Bill, and to see how Bill treats her, it's horrible and all of that. In this episode, we also find out that Ted is a plastic surgeon, so he's off to the hospital. And over at the hospital, you have Ashley, who is visited by her mom and I believe 2 of her friends. We find out that Ashley's mom is a single mother. Ashley's mom decided to drop off some food for her. And then we go back over to Danny and Anita, who is trying to get Danny to let go of this whole Bill situation. Danny not listen. Danny is now questioning if the mom knew, or how could she miss Bill cheating. Danny is on one. Her mom is trying to even suggest, maybe she should start dating. Danny says she don't have time for no man, because all her energy is going to go into getting revenge on Bill and Haley. Poor Anita is left looking like, where did I go wrong with this child? Like, where did I go wrong? How did we get here? What have I done wrong as a parent? Like that's literally how Anita is looking, because she's like, this girl is crazy. So back over at the hospital now, you have Ashley, who is talking to her mom and her 2 friends. One of her friends' name is Eva. She's a hairstylist. So, she's basically telling Ashley how she's proud of her and how, she's feeling lacking in her job and where she is in her life. And basically Ashley and her mom is just telling her she should feel proud because hairstyling is still a job. She shouldn't be comparing her life to Ashley and all of that. Then they're about to leave, and Ted walks in, the elevator door open, and Ted walks in, and then one of Ashley's other friend, now she looking at Ted like she know Ted from somewhere, and Ashley is looking at Ted with some like mystery eyes, like there's some connection there. I don't know if Ted slept with her or if they had something in the past and he don't remember because Ted looked right past her and walked past her. But my girl was looking straight at Ted like he was some dessert. She wanted to have him or something. So we will see what's the story there. Anyway, back over at Nicole house now. I tell you, these coleslaw people, they have the audacity. So Nicole is sitting in her living room minding her business. Haley shows up to her house with chocolate chip cookies. She is at Nicole trying to get Nicole to help her to assimilate in the community and try to get her to, I guess, be liked. Girl, this girl is crazy. She has lost her mind. Then Nicole basically told her that, girl, you are crazy. You hurt my sister. You and your new husband or your soon to be husband hurt my sister. And you think I'm going to help you to be liked in this community or to assimilate in this community? You must have lost your mind. So Haley goes on to let Nicole know that she's sorry and she's basically pleading her case and saying she didn't mean to hurt Danny and she just fell in love with an inconvenient man. This girl. Nicole ended up telling her to get the heck out of her house. Then Nicole went to the hospital. She saw Ashley. She said hi to Ashley. Ashley said hi to her. And then Ashley gave her this weird look again. I don't know what it is, but there is something going on where it's either Ashley is sleeping with Ted or her friend is sleeping with Ted because she is acting very weird around Ted and Nicole. Anyways, so the trainer comes up to Ashley and introduces herself and then explain how her first day is gonna go. She's gonna take her on the training. And then that was that scene. Then we're back over to Bill and not Bill, child. We're over to Martin and Vernon because they're still talking about this whole situation with Bill and how Vernon helped Bill to further his career, how he never liked him in the beginning and he only liked him because of Danny and all of that. Ultimately, Vernon said that he's happy that Bill is gone from Danny's life. And then we go over now to Bill's office and Haley shows up to tell Bill about what happened, about the slap. And Bill is upset because he's like, oh heck no. I'm not going to allow Danny to slap you. And then Haley's telling him, nope, just leave it alone. Because if you come to my rescue, it's going to make me look weak. I handled it. I took it like a champ and it's all good. At the same time, while she's saying this, she's still complaining to Bill about all the obstacles she had to face this morning, from Vanessa telling her that she's basically not good enough for the community and she's going to be iced out of the community, to getting slapped, to Nicole not trying to help her. Like, girl, you stole these people's man and you want them to help you. If you want to play in the big leagues, then these are the consequences. You can't expect different. Now she's second guessing if she wants to get married at the country club. And here in this moment, Haley is doing the manipulation that some women do when it comes to their men, right? So she's talking about, oh, she wants to cancel the wedding. And Bill is just looking at her like, no, we're not going to do that. And she's like, no, we're going to just cancel it because maybe we should just go to Vegas. And so Bill is like, babe, do you want to get married at the country club? And then she goes, yeah, it's been my dream. Bitch, how's it been your dream? Like, what dream do you have? Anyways, so Bill is like, okay, if you want to get married at the country club, then you're going to get married at the country club. I'm going to sort it out. Then they flip to the scene where you have this clear man. He's talking on the phone to someone and he's coming down the stairs with a laundry basket. He's talking on the phone. And then he comes off the phone quickly because someone walked into the door, and then he puts down the laundry basket and he greets the person, and lo and behold, the person that he greeted was Martin, and he said, "Hey, husband." So my apologies, because I think earlier I said that Martin had the wife and children. Martin has a husband and children. So my apologies. So now back over to Vernon house. Bill take up himself, but he's going over Vernon to ask Vernon for help. Because he wants Vernon to use his influence to make sure that there are guests at his and Haley's wedding. Vernon looked at him like he's a crazy man. Like, Vernon is like, do you know the Dupree women? They don't want nothing to do with you, nor do they want to come to your raggedy wedding. So Bill, he's like, well, I would appreciate if you would try. So in this moment, Vernon is like, you need to get the heck out of my house because I'm not helping you. So Bill, before he finally leave, he said to Vernon that he hoped that he would try to help because there's been plenty of times where um Vernon needed help, or a member of his family needed help with something, and and Bill helped them. So in this moment, Bill gave Vernon he basically threatened him with something. So there's some interaction there, that, or some secret there, that Bill and Vernon is aware of, and he is basically trying to hold that over Vernon's head to make sure that Vernon have people at his wedding. So the next scene is with the two ladies that were visiting Ashley, and now we find out that one of the lady who is the hairstylist, her name is Eva, and the next lady who looked at Ted when they were leaving the hospital, she is Eva's mother, and her name, I looked it up, her name, on her character's name, is Dana or Leslie. So Dana and Eva, they're planning something, because Eva is saying to her that, it's hurting her to know what she's been through all those years, and it's time for her to basically get it's time for her to basically start living and start getting what is owed to her. So I don't know who hurt them people, but they plotting something. So anyways, they're back over at Martin's house, where his husband is giving him a massage, and his husband's name is Brad, or Bradley, and they're discussing about their kids. So they have two children, I think. One of them named Samantha, and the other one's name is Tyrell, and they're basically talking about how the kids are doing, and how they adopted those kids, and now Samantha is like 16, and they're talking about whether or not they want her to date, and just doing the whole parent thing about their kids growing up and all of that. So back over at Vernon house now, Anita came home, and she's like, she was just with Danny, and then Vernon tells her that he was just with Bill, how Bill walk up in the house like he owned the building. Like, Vernon, you let the man in the house. Anyways, he tells Anita, like, we got a problem. So then they skip over to the hospital with Ted and Nicole. And in this scene, we find out that Andre is the nephew of Ted, and Ted's brother is his father, but he passed away. So Ted and Nicole, they're talking about how he's grateful for her, and back on their lovey-dovey shit. Then we're back over to Martin and Bradley. Bradley, for me, he seems sneaky. He seemed like he's cheating. I don't know. He just give me the cheating vibe. But then we also find out that Martin have a problem with sleeping, and when he is sleeping, he probably sleepwalk, and he probably does stuff in his sleep that he doesn't remember. So it looks like that's a bit of an issue within their marriage, and he doesn't want to talk about it, and Bradley seems frustrated. So back over at Vernon and Anita, Vernon is just filling Anita in on the conversation that he had with Bill, and telling Anita that he didn't feel threatened by Bill, but he seemed a little bit concerned. I don't know what Vernon was seeing, but the vibe I was getting, that's threatening. But anyways, they ended up saying that their number one priority right now is to protect Martin. And the way they said it, it's like there's some kind of secret about Martin that they need to protect, or there's some danger that they need to protect him from. It was weird. But then we go over now to the final scene where Danny shows up to Bill's office. My girl walking up into the office all dressed to the nine. She took up one of the golf club. She walked into his office, and he was in the office with client. My girl took up the golf club and started swinging. So that was episode 2. So now I'm gonna do episode 3. So in episode 3, the episode opened up with Martin having a bad dream. It's like he's having nightmares about something, and then Bradley like touched him and he jumped up. And then we go over to Vernon and Anita. They were talking about the kids and just how they're grateful for the children, but their number one job right now is protecting Martin again. I don't know what this secret is with Martin, but they ended up saying that while protecting Martin, Danny is going to end up getting hurt or pay the price again. I don't know what that's about, but we're going to find out sooner or later. Then we go back to the office with Danny and Bill. So, Danny is standing over Bill, threatening him with the golf club because she's about to knock him out. And then Haley and Carolyn, the secretary, they ran into the office, and Bill is still sitting in his seat while Danny is looking at him, and he tells his client to leave the office, and because he needs to talk to Danny because Danny's about to knock him out. So everyone leaves the office, and then Bill gets up, and he's basically taunting Danny, and he's saying, "Oh, nicely done. Do you feel better about yourself?" And Danny's like, "Not quite," and she slapped him. Bill ended up looking like he had seen a ghost when he felt the slap, and he then was just like he said to Danny, like, "Do you feel good about yourself?" Like that was very dramatic. And Danny is just letting him know, "No, I still don't feel good about myself, but seeing him, if he was to be unalive, then maybe that would make her feel better." And they started getting into this back and forth about who made each other, who made who, and how Danny doesn't want them living in the community. Danny needs to just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Anyways, we then have a scene with Chelsea and Naomi, and Chelsea's telling Naomi that she is planning on quitting modeling to open her purse line with Catherine, and she wanted Naomi's opinion on how she thinks she should go ahead and tell Danny about it. Then we have another scene where you have Ashley's mom and Eva's mom, the lady that was looking at Ted weird, and the lady who is Nicole's coordinator. They're sitting at a coffee table, like the coffee shop or whatever, and they're gossiping about what's happening in the community, the whole slap between Danny and Haley, and basically they're discussing just gossiping about everybody that have problems within the community. So Leslie, that's Eva's mom, she is basically asking the coordinator lady what's going on with Nicole and Ted. And the lady's just basically telling her that nothing is going on with them. They're a lovely couple. Nicole deserves everything that she has, and she has a beautiful marriage and all of that. My lady Leslie, she looking like she plotting in her head about how she gonna break up that marriage, because she's saying how, oh, it must be nice to be Nicole, to have everything that you want and to have everything in the world. And so the coordinator lady is looking at her weird, like, bitch, what are you trying to say? So we flip back over to the scene with Nicole and Ted, and they're both talking to Andre, Ted's nephew, and their daughter, Catherine. And basically we find out that Andre's parents, it seems that they were unalive due to an accident, like a flight accident, and Ted and Nicole took him in and took care of him, and he's just basically telling them thank you and all of that. And then we go over to Chelsea and Naomi, and she's basically telling Naomi that she wants to like find her own way and not having to depend on Danny so much. And we find out that Naomi is a lawyer, and she left Fairmont like a couple years ago, like 5 years, and she married Jacob, and she's loving her life. Find out that Danny's actually Chelsea's manager, so that's why Chelsea is not able to just move away or pull away, or not wanting to pull away from Danny so much, because she feels like Danny is already so fragile with this whole situation with Bill. So if she pulls away, then, or if she quits, then she will have to now face up to the fact that Danny doesn't have really a career to fall back on, because she's managing her. Anyways, we go over to Bill and Danny. Danny is over at Bill's office, like pleading with Bill about their marriage and asking Bill if he didn't love her and what happened, and how Bill treated her poorly, and he's cheated on her more than once, and she looked the other way. Girl, like, Danny, I'm rooting for you, but this is pathetic. Bill ended up telling Danny that he don't want her, and their marriage has been done a long time, and he fell in love with somebody else, and Danny needs to move on. And he basically told her that if she ever tried to hit Haley again, then Danny will have to deal with him. Danny said to him that she's not afraid of him. They're just toxic, two toxic people. So anyways, Danny walks out the office, and then she saw Haley, and she tell Haley that, oh, don't feel like you're special because you're not the first. He's cheated before, and there's nothing special about you. Then Danny goes into the elevator and have a nervous breakdown. I don't know way she took up herself, gone over a man office. We gonna have nervous breakdown. She had a nervous breakdown all the way over to the bar where she met up with Vanessa, who is over there playing a role play with this next Claire man, when we're introduced to the fact that Vanessa have an ex-man named Doug. We have a few other filler scenes, but one of the scenes that we had that we saw was with Haley and Bill, where they're talking about their love for each other, and how she misses her relationship with Naomi. Then we have Naomi talking to Chelsea about how much she despises Bill, and basically saying that she doesn't have a father because their relationship is so broken, not only by the fact that Bill is marrying Haley, but also how Bill treated Danny. So anyways, everyone had, basically everyone got summoned to go to Anita and Vernon's house because they called a family meeting. So everyone is supposed to arrive at the house. So they're finally at the house, and Danny wants to know what's this emergency, why everyone is gathered. Anita, hey, Anita tells everyone that they are, before Anita tell everyone why they're gathered, Danny let everyone know that she will be going to Paris because she wants to get away from Bill and Haley's wedding. So she's going to go to Paris, and it's a perfect time for her to go. Anita then tells Danny that's not going to happen because they all have to go to the wedding as a family. And Danny's like, what? Say that again? I didn't hear you because I must be going deaf or something. Well, she didn't say that. I added that part. But Danny's like, what? What do you mean we all have to go? And she's saying to her mom, no, I'm not going. So Danny storms off, and then her dad goes after her and said, you know, he's sorry and he doesn't really ask much of her. And basically he's doing the parent thing where he's manipulating her by saying, you know, when you were younger, we let you do whatever you want to do. And this time around, we're just asking you to do this one thing. We never really ask much of you. And if I'm asking you to do it and I can't tell you the reason, it's because, and I'm not telling you the reason is because I can't tell you. So anyways, Danny ended up saying, okay, fine. She's going to go to the wedding. And so she left the house. And then her daughters were back at her house. Her daughters were just like, what the heck was that? Like, you're really gonna go to the wedding? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go because it seems like it's important to my dad, and it seems that Bill got to him, and she's gonna go. So the next scene now, this girl, the intern, her name is Laura. Now we get her name. Her name is Laura. So she is going home now from work, and she's driving in her car, and it seemed like someone is behind her or chasing behind her on a motorcycle, and the person ended up like running her off the road, so she ended up having a crash. And then the next person, you just see like this person walking into a room dressed in all black, and the person put down the keys, and then they took off the helmet, and the person ended up being Leslie. So it looks like Leslie ran Laura off the road, and I don't know the reason why. And that was the end of that episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video.